Back in Nigeria, as reactions continue to trail the invasion of Ukraine by Russian forces, Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyeama this evening held a closed-door meeting with leaders of G7 countries and the EU in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The German ambassador to Nigeria, Birgitt Ory, told reporters that the meeting is about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And this is coming a few hours after Nigeria took a stand with Ukraine. The 7 countries in attendance are U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria Marybeth Leonard, British High Commissioner to Nigeria Katrina Liang, EU Ambassador to Nigeria Samuel Isopi, Japan and Canada. The G7 is an informal grouping of 7 of the world's advanced economies: Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, the U.S., as well as the European Union. In the meantime, after walking away from reporters a day earlier, Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister has taken a stand on the Ukraine invasion by Russia. He says the Nigerian government sympathizes with the government of Ukraine over the devastation of its sovereignty from the invasion by Russia. Geoffrey Onyeama, who earlier met with ambassadors of Russia and Ukraine separately, spoke with journalists after the meetings. Moyo Thomas was there.
Worrying times for Nigerians in Ukraine subjected to terror and trauma with no hope in sight. The ambassador of Ukraine to Nigeria assures that the government of Ukraine is trying to ensure the safety of all civilians, including Nigerian students, through constant information and instructions. He confirms reports that Nigerians have been offered to join the Ukrainian military in exchange for citizenship.
Currently, the evacuation of Nigerian students back to Nigeria is not possible because it is not safe to fly in the sky of Ukraine. But as soon as it becomes possible, as soon as it becomes safe to fly in the sky of Ukraine, we jointly with the Embassy of Nigeria in Ukraine and jointly with the Nigerian government will arrange for evacuation of Nigerian students.
The Nigerian government, on its part, is concerned about the 4,000 Nigerian students trapped in war-torn Ukraine.
It was just to sympathize for...
Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister also met with the Russian ambassador and told journalists afterwards that Nigeria cannot condone the violation of the territorial integrity of a United Nations member state.
To the status quo before the attack, the military action, and to prioritize diplomacy and dialogue. That this is, really the position of the government.
While these diplomatic meetings are ongoing, Nigerians in Ukraine are left in fear and uncertainty. Celestine is a Nigerian in Ukraine who, when speaking with TVC earlier, pictured the train station he has been in for about 9 hours with no destination in mind.
I have no particular destination in mind.
Wow.
If I see any train to Uzgorod, I'll be going to Uzgorod. If I see any train to Lviv, I will go to Lviv. For now, there is one train to Kyiv, but Kyiv has been very, very bad since yesterday.
Though Nigeria's foreign policy is African-focused and non-alignment, but a time like this is a good time to have the voice of Nigeria and other African countries under the AU umbrella heard in ensuing for global peace. Moyo Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.
Moyo joins me now live from Abuja. What changed between yesterday when the minister avoided your question about getting his reaction to Russian invasion of Ukraine and now? It appears he had to meet with the G7 before taking a stance, right?
He actually took a stand before meeting with the G7, but then we know that consultations are ongoing and has been more serious over the last 24 hours, especially with Ukraine complaining that it has been left alone to face Russia in this challenge. But then we realize that from what we also gather, the reaction of the minister would have also caught attention of some other international bodies, and we are also guessing that that could be one of the reasons why he had to come out earlier and take a stand, especially the fact that AU as an organization has come out to stand with Ukraine at this time. And then in the earlier meeting he had with the Ukrainian minister, with the Ukrainian ambassador, he actually said that the Nigerian government is sympathizing with them at this time, and they are talking with Russia to sheath its sword at this time and consider diplomatic dialogue so that we can go back to the peace the world knew before the war broke out. And then after the meeting with the G7, where the G7 chair, that is the German ambassador to Nigeria, said that they want the whole world, the whole UN member countries to come together this time and speak in one voice against the incursion of Russia to Ukraine. So we guess all these meetings, and the EU too, the same thing. They met with the minister having the same discussion. They want the EU, they want the Nigerian, not only Nigerian body, but the whole Africa to also speak and condemn. They believe that with all the pressures, then it could help Russia in having a rethink and then going back to the dialogue that Ukraine is asking for at the moment. But one very important point that came out from that meeting with the EU and earlier with the G7 group was the fact that Nigerians are not. The minister says Nigerians that he's receiving emergency calls from Nigerians that they are being turned back or being rejected by other West Africa, other EU neighboring countries, especially Poland. And then in the meeting, Poland assured the minister that they are not turning back Nigerians. They are accepting Nigerians as refugees at the moment and making plans and arrangements for them to ensure that they are in safety.
I get you, Moyo. Is there any update from the Foreign Affairs Ministry as regards the planned evacuation of Nigerians in Ukraine, particularly the over 4,000 students there? Yesterday, House of Reps members were nursing the idea of asking Air Peace to do the job. Is that even a possibility at this time?
It is definitely not a possibility. While we met with the Ukrainian ambassador after the closed door meeting, he also told us that at this time there cannot be an evacuation. They cannot carry out any evacuation. And from the report we have, the Russian army are in charge of the Ukrainian airports. So that even makes it harder for any country to try to evacuate. But see, as we are seeing that some people are getting the opportunity to cross through land borders to neighboring countries, maybe that could be an option. As many people as could move to the neighboring EU countries, then there could be an evacuation from that point, but definitely not from Ukraine. And according to what our correspondent at the National Assembly said while we talked about this earlier, she also said that the members of the House of Reps said they were not up to date with the latest happening, and that was why they took that decision on the floor. But after when they realized that there was no way they could evacuate, they knew that they just had to wait and then hope for the best for the Nigerians stranded in Ukraine.
Apparently, we missed that window of opportunity just before Russia struck yesterday. Moyo Thomas live for us in Abuja.